630 position there. And this is just a huge macro game. It looks like maybe another base going on for Stork as well. But now we have turrets in the middle, SCVs transferring. And I think these carriers, see, that's the problem with going carriers. I mean, they're good, but against mech like this, they're not as effective. I think Arbiter play would have been a little bit more effective. He could have gone for some Zealot drops, Zealot bombs, stuff like that. But now he's kind of committed to these carriers since he went for them so early. I mean, he built like 5-6 starports, and well, maybe 4 or 5. But at any rate, he's going to go in for another attack here, picking off the missile turrets. Goliaths coming in, attacking the carriers. The carriers attacking the Goliaths, but the Goliaths aren't really getting a lot of shots on these carriers. Really nice job by Stork here. Goliath moves in though. They realize that they've been just attacking the interceptors. Now they have to fall back because using that ridge there, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Those ridges are so important with carriers. This is kind of a carrier map. I think the middle of this map is just freaking weird, but I mean, the use of those ridges is really important. If you had a map that you couldn't use the ridges on, and oh my gosh, Stork, man, he's gonna lose another Dragoon, losing 3 Dragoons to mines. That is not okay. And what the heck is he doing over there? I have no idea what he was doing over there. But anyways, what I was saying is you need to use those ridges for micro. You know, they can't just be in the open field like that. They're just going to be picked off. And a ton of Goliaths now out for Flash. And Flash is now moving his huge army out, moving along with about 4 or 5 SCVs as well. He's going to go in here and try to do some type of attack. It looks like he is moving his Goliaths up to the front, which is a good idea, right next to that ridge, right where those carriers are going to be. A little small force from Stork, and it looks like he might try to go for a pincer attack here. Not entirely sure. He's going to attack from behind, picking off the SCVs. Carriers are falling back, though. He's got about 8 carriers. Those siege tanks are killing something. They're attacking this northern base. Here, huge engagement. Goliaths attacking the interceptors, though not really attacking any of the carriers. These carriers are going to be able to pick off a lot of these Goliaths, and he needs to watch out for the carriers, though. Another carrier reinforcing, and just so many carriers. Oh my gosh, there's the Goliath force that we've been watching, but now he's going to be attacking from behind. Flash is in a little bit of trouble here, especially if he's not able to take down any of these carriers. The Zealots are going in, attacking all these Goliaths, and Goliaths are taking hits from the siege tanks. The siege tank lag is almost dwindled down, only about 4 or 5 siege tanks in that front there, and then 3 in the back. And oh my gosh, Stork is going to pull this off. It looks like he's able to deter all of these Goliaths. He's going to be able to take out this whole entire force, and he still has about 8 or 9 carriers and you know, Dragoons and Zealots as well. He's able to keep that base, which is really critical. Now he's going to move in, and Stork knows that he's on the brink of beating Flash, beating the killer of multiplayer, beating the boss of all bosses, and here he goes in now, again, losing a carrier or 2. I don't know if that was 2 carriers. That might have been 2 carriers, but here he goes. The Dragoon's going in, and the carrier's going in. He's just going out for a full-on frontal attack here. I don't like that idea, though. He loses another carrier. He needs to use the ridges a little bit better, and wow. Having to pull back, use those ridges, man. Seriously, able to pick off another vulture, and still dying to these freaking mines. He needs to get observers, get more observers. Vultures are not going to be able to get through there, not going to be able to do any harassment at all. Good cannon placement by Stork, but he needs to focus more on his ground units. I mean, he has enough carriers. He has a pretty critical number, or I mean, he had rather, before he just kind of got them owned, but he had a really good number of carriers there. It was just the only problem was he wasn't using the ridge. He was engaging right on the middle there, and that is not a good idea. Now he's going to engage right at the ridge here. This is a good engagement spot because those Goliaths aren't going to be able to range on those carriers. Goliath is getting a few shots on those carriers, but the carriers are just getting a ton of shots on these Goliaths here. The Goliaths are moving up the ramp. Stork needs to reinforce with his ground army. These Goliaths, or these carriers, cannot just stand here alone. They're picking off a ton of Goliaths. So now he's going for High Templar, and that could be critical. The High Templar, the storm drops, stuff like that. If he can have as much multitasking as Bisu, then he will be able to beat Flash really easily. Well, I mean, not really easily. I mean, that's kind of a vague term, but a lot easier than just, you know, going for carrier ground army. Because if he goes storm drops, he's going to be able to affect the economy, and he's going to be able to reinforce so much faster than Flash just because of his economy. Siege tanks sieging up now. Observer sees all of this. The Goliaths are moving back. High Templar, I don't know where the High Templar are going. They're going somewhere. It looks like scan went off, observer went down, observer's over there. Now this army is moving up to the northern position, moving up a little bit farther. Carriers coming in now, and Flash's army is kind of split up here. Now he's engaging, picking off one of the siege tanks, able to do some more attacking. He is in the middle ground though. This is a really dangerous situation, and it looks like Flash is going up to the northern base again, trying to attack. He is attacking with his siege tanks, and not much else going on. Flash, you know, has his army split up. Stork's army is split up as well. I don't know what they're doing at the middle there. They're just kind of sitting around. He needs to reinforce and take out those units that are trying to take out his base. He is getting caught kind of in the middle here, and now a huge game is going to go off in the middle. Storms out enough everywhere. Really good storms by Stork. Wow, great storms by Stork, killing all the siege tanks, and now the carriers are coming in, and this is going to be a huge battle, reinforcing Flash, but Flash is losing a ton of units, but at the same time these Dragoons are dropping left and right. Bad storms there, kind of almost stormed his own units, but Flash is going to have to fall back now. He's building a ton of turrets because he knows he has to play really defensively. These tanks are going to be taken out by these carriers, and he's in a world of hurt. He's going to have to pull back now, but wow, Stork looking a little bit depressed, and Flash somehow has macroed up a ton of units really quickly. He's putting it all in the bag now. He's got DTs, High Templar, and carriers, and then these Goliaths are just marching in here. Wow, I thought that Stork was ahead, but maybe not. Maybe Flash is actually ahead. Flash is just moving back and forth, but he has so many units, not really getting picked off by a ton. Looks like he re-put down that base at the bottom left there, or at mid left, but still at the bottom. DT going in, probably to do a little bit of attack, but wow, this battle is just epic, and this game does not disappoint. That Zealot taking out SCVs left and right, but that Zealot's going to be taken out, especially if they focus fire him. But that's, well, I mean, he's doing quite a bit of damage. 2 SCVs just got picked off there. Probably 3 is what I'm assuming. Oh, and still losing more Dragoons to those mines. Really good storms there, though. He needs to be careful not to lose those High Templar. They are very costly. Another storm going down, and now it looks like he's getting desperate. Stork might lose this. Flash, I think, is going to come out ahead just because Stork is using Desperation Storms, and he really has nothing. Where is his army? Why isn't he macroing up? I have no idea what he's doing. Stork is using this ridge, but not to the best effectiveness. That Nexus does get picked off, and now he's at one less base, I believe, than Flash. Flash is going to come in here with his Goliaths, but Stork is using this ridge so well, not really getting any hits on his carriers, really be able to do a lot of macro, although he did maybe lose the carrier there. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of hard to tell. There's just a mass of missiles going on, along with interceptors. It looks like he might build another base. Idle probes. What the heck are those probes doing? Those probes aren't even mining over there. Idle probes everywhere, and where is Stork's ground army? That's what I want to know, man. He is able to fight off this Goliath army, but where the freak? Is Stork just going straight carriers? Where's his army? I mean, he's not mined out. He's definitely not mined out. He could build more you know, Zealots and stuff. I don't know what's going on here. Flash looking pretty confident, although he did just lose a command center. Maybe not so much after that. Building another Nexus at that bottom base. And that top base got beat too, and now Stork has to cancel it because it just got shelled. These probes are all gonna die running the probes back. Nice job by catching that there by Stork, but wow, Flash has a lot of army, but at the same time he hasn't macroed up that much either. He's pretty much kept the same. I wonder if they've already pretty much mined out the map. I mean, this game hasn't been that long. I guess because they got their bases just so early, they might have mined out already. These Goliaths are going to be taken out, but there's Flash's army. There's Flash's army coming in here. These carriers are not going to be enough. I mean, he has to pull out some Gosu micro to beat all of these Goliaths here. He has no ground army, but he is going into the main. If he's able to pick off a lot of these factories, there's a little bit of his ground army. Storms going off everywhere. Really good storms by Stork. Able to hold this off for a little bit. If he's able to hold this off, but he has a really small force comparatively of ground army. He needs to, you know, pull back his carriers and attack, but he's attacking the factories right now. If he's able to pick off these factories, then he's going to be able to do a ton of damage, and the Flash is going to be at kind of a standstill. Flash is moving in though. Kind of relentless here. One of the carriers getting picked off from the group, probably a reinforcement carrier, and Flash is going to, I mean, Stork is going to have to bring his carriers back because his army just is not big enough. He's going straight High Templar, and one cannon or a few cannon shots would just devastate his Templar count and his food count. That would be really terrible. So he needs to be careful, not get those Templars sniped. Oh, and this could be really bad for him. Those tanks sieging up. Oh my gosh! Good storms though. Good storms by Stork, but at the same time it looks like he lost all of its High Templar, and this is a last ditch effort. There's just so much mech there. Stork's gonna try to go for like maybe elimination, try to swap bases with Flash, but Flash is just relentless going in here, killing all of these Dragoons. More Zealots coming in to reinforce, but wow, jeez, Stork just coming into Flash's base, but he just has so many Goliaths. There's so many Goliaths, but those carriers are doing a lot of damage, and these Zealots are going to come in to this top base here, possibly make it lift off, and this could be really good for Stork. I really don't know who's ahead right now. There's not much going on for Stork as far as ground units, but these carriers are just doing so much damage, although at the same time, this whole bottom base has got picked off by just a few tanks, and that's what Terran are so good at. Tanks, excuse me, are so effective against buildings and just, you know, sieging up and causing so much harassment here. That command center is going to get picked off, but Stork has lost that bottom base for sure. I don't know if that top base is building at all. These 3 tanks need to die. Hopefully they get picked off. These Zealots are doing a ton of damage though to this top base. Surprisingly, here come the Goliaths. It's kind of hard to see how big exactly Stork's army is and how big exactly Flash's army. Flash's army looks like it's dwindled down a ton. Just you know, maybe a control group and a half of Goliaths here, and just so many carriers for Stork. Although here it comes. Here's a big battle here, and engaging right in the middle. Not what he wants to do, but if Stork, you know, is able to pull this off, he does really good storms there. But more Goliaths coming in from the south. There's just so many Goliaths. Stork is going to have to run those carriers. Stork is getting caught out in the open, losing 2 or 3 carriers. That's really bad. Archon's morphing in. But now using that ridge to his advantage, Stork is able to do some good micro. There's a lot of Goliaths. I don't know why they're not moving up here. They're doing, you know, pretty decent damage to each other. The carriers are just doing a ton of damage. I don't know who's going to pull out ahead. Carriers using the ridge again, doing a really nice job. There's about, what, 8 carriers there? The Stargates aren't pumping out units, so I think Stork is mined out as far as units there. He does have a lot of High Templar, actually, surprisingly. He's distance mining. He's now resorted to distance mining, but these vultures are going to disrupt this a ton, and this is going to be quite advantageous for Flash because he's able to just pick off those probes that are trying to, you know, get him extra minerals. Flash is now at 1-2 bases, I think, the top 2, and Stork is at, I don't think Stork's at anything, to be completely honest right now. He's lost that bottom base. I don't think he has that top base mining at all. And these High Templar are getting picked off by these vultures. Oh my gosh. Just High Templars going down left and right from those vultures there. And yeah, so that top base isn't mining. That bottom base is distance mining. And Flash still has that top left base and that middle top base. And so he's able to macro a lot better than Stork. So I think Stork might go down here, guys, even though he is doing an amazing job with these carriers, just doing a ton of damage. But this Goliath force is just way, way too big. And as you can see, that stream of Goliaths just coming in here. Flash looking really confident. Stork looking a little bit dazed. We're going to probably see the final battle here any moment. Getting caught out in the open. Hits going off on the carriers. Losing another carrier. That's not okay. He's going to lose 2 carriers. Oh, we might lose a 3rd carrier. Really good. Oh, my gosh. Really good targeting there by Flash, losing 3 carriers, and that's just devastating, especially because he's mined out so badly. Not going to be able to replenish those at all. And here comes Flash just moving in here, and this is why Flash is the best StarCraft Brood War player in the world. And beyond a doubt in my mind at least, he would be the best StarCraft 2 player, better than, you know, Fruit Dealer, better than Boxer. You know, better than them all. He just has so much multitasking, so good of micro, so good of macro. And you know what? People might argue with me, disagree, but Brood War is, you know, almost twice as hard to play as StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is StarCraft 2 is a good game, and yeah, there goes Stork. GG from Stork. But anyway, StarCraft 2, really great game, my favorite game, but a lot easier than Brood War. Flash would just be insane at StarCraft 2. Anyways, great match here, guys. Just Stork coming out a little bit short, getting a little bit resource starved, and Flash just being himself, winning. So 2-0 for KT Rolster. Almost said SKT1. Anyways, GG, guys.